Hey, my name is David Smith. I'm recording my vlog for my student dialogue. Today is October 23rd and it is 4 o'clock. So I went to the dialogue on peer pressure and it was located in the quad. Don't really remember the name of the building, but we had a group of about 28 or so students. I would say that our discussion went really well. We were really open with each other and we let people finish what they were saying and didn't interrupt. So I guess that you could say that we almost did achieve that dialogue instead of debate and just discussion, that we actually did have an actual dialogue. Some talked more than others. I guess people were just shy or just didn't really want to share their opinions. But other than that, I think with the majority of people that spoke, that we were able to understand how peer pressure at Clemson and just other institutions can be something that we face in our everyday life, and just how to deal with that and how to maybe figure out ways to not fall into peer pressure, whether it is good or bad peer pressure. One of the things that we did talk about, though, was how peer pressure can be good or bad. There's a lot of types of bad peer pressure, and I think that those are the ones that get more highlighted and that are more common, such as drug abuse, alcohol abuse, or just doing things out of your own will, things that you don't feel comfortable with. I think that anything that you don't feel comfortable with is something that can be seen as bad peer pressure. One of the things that we talked about was alcohol on Clemson's campus, and how just if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, then you have a higher a higher possibility of being tempted into peer pressure. But one of the things that people said was just to make sure that in order to stay away from peer pressure, is just to watch where you put yourself in those situations, and just the more that you say no, the more people are going to respect your decisions, and eventually it could possibly lead to them stop asking you to do certain things, whether that is, again, good or bad, such as drinking alcohol or just going out and having a fun time. Another type of peer pressure that we talked about was when people are studying in their dorms, and just time management, and just somebody might come by your room and just say, "Hey David, do you want to go out and go on Bowman and throw frisbee or play soccer when I have a really big test the next day?" And so that's not really bad peer pressure. But it is something that you are being tempted into doing and pressuring into, so it's still considered peer pressure. And just ways that you can avoid those situations would just be to go to the library, or to just do just study early, just study later in the day, or just make sure that what you're doing is still studying no matter what. Also, another thing that we talked about was how peer pressure and your groups of friends, and we talked about how some people consider your friends aren't going to tempt you, true friends aren't going to tempt you, and I do not agree with that at all. I feel like whoever your friends are, there's always going to be some type of peer pressure. You can't completely avoid peer pressure, but you can avoid how you respond to it. So I didn't agree with what people were saying, how the people that you surround yourself with is going to maybe completely get rid of your peer pressure or not. Overall, I would say that our discussion group was really good. I would say that I learned a lot from my peers around me. I did it with a couple of my friends too, and just hearing some of their experiences in peer pressure and how they were able to avoid the situations was really good to hear. I think that one of the main things that I can do here at Clemson when facing issues with peer pressure would just be not to go against my morals, and just to have the courage to say no if I need to or not. And I think that if I have that courage, then that's going to take me a long ways, and that it's going to let me gain respect through my peers, through just people I know that I'm not really friends with, through my professors in my classroom settings. I think that the way that I respond to peer pressure is something it can also be like good in Clemson's morals with respect and integrity and stuff, just not to go against Clemson's like main beliefs. And I think that if I can do that, then I'll have a successful career at Clemson. So I really enjoyed this student dialogue, and have a good day.